Hello, everybody. It is an exciting time. 1.16 officially released yesterday. I downloaded it late last night when I finally got home. And let me tell you, it was a heck of a battle of will to not open it up before this stream. But that means that I have not actually looked at this until now. So I've read some of the release notes and stuff like that, and we'll start with that, I think. But then we'll get into the menu, take a look at what's changed, what hasn't changed, and maybe even go through one of the shorter campaigns tonight. We'll see how far we get. I'm thinking like Tale of Two Brothers or something like that. Yeah, I am super excited. This is pretty freaking awesome. I've been waiting for this for a little while, and I'm looking forward to getting back into Wesnoth because of it. So why don't we just give that a go immediately? We're going to start by sort of going through the trailer and the changelog, comparing 1.14 to 1.16. I know definitely folks who have been on the development branch have been looking at this for a while now through the 1.15 development. For those of you who don't know, Battle for Wesnoth has stable releases on even numbers, so that'd be 1.12, 1.14, now 1.16, and then they do a development branch on the odd numbers. So 1.15 has been in development probably since 1.14 officially released, and 1.14 keeps getting bug fixes along the way, but no major content changes, and 1.15 starts to implement content changes until it has progressed to the point where it is deemed a new stable release, which is what we have here. It has now been released as 1.16. I imagine in the coming months, 1.17, the roadmap will start to be defined for that, and the development will start again. And in a year or two or three, we'll see 1.18 become the next stable release. And that's sort of the development cycle that the Battle for Wesnoth follows. And the Battle for Wesnoth is so unique in its history, being an open source developed game started in 2003 and is still an open source developed game just by the community. So if you have any interest in getting involved in the development of the Battle for Wesnoth, you are able to do that. You can just go to the forums and say, hey, I want to help out. I have this experience. I would be looking to build this experience. I would like to work on this part of the project. And you'll have the chance to work on that part of the project. So I think that's really cool. Probably all of you already know that, but I thought I would say it for anybody that doesn't. And the first thing that I want to take a look at is the 1.16 trailer. So they put together a little trailer that is on their website. It's on YouTube, and I imagine it also got put to Steam as well. But why don't we pop over to here and take a look at the trailer, and then we'll go through some of the more high level but also detailed changes. We won't go through everything, but we'll read their sort of high level description of what has changed since 1.14. All right, here we go. Ooh, that looks like... Hang on. I don't recognize this unit. That might be an add-on campaign, or it's just one that I haven't... or campaign I just haven't played. But those look like some exotic units that I have not seen before. Yes! Epic story-filled campaigns! So we got the Loyalists, as per usual, Undead. Dune Folk is the major one that got a rework this time. So Noggin Alliance, Rebels, Northerners, the Drakes, of course. The Dune Folk. Okay, so that's I don't think I've actually played with Dune Folk, so that'll be really interesting to explore. I think I might make that sort of the first long campaign we dive into, is something with a Dune Folk. Yeah, that's user made, but really cool stuff. And of course, that is what makes Battle for Wesnoth so unique. Infinite replayability might be stretching it just a little bit, but I have well over 1,000 hours. Since I had this Steam account, I have 300 hours into it, but I played long before this was on Steam, so I probably have thousands of hours in this anyway. And that's about as replayable as any game I've played. Over 10 years. I think we're not quite at over 20 years of development, but we're getting close. 1.18 might drop at the 20th anniversary. So that is the trailer, which is, I think, really cool. I don't think a whole lot changed, but probably highlighting the Dune Folk, maybe it was a little bit different from previous trailers. So let's talk about what's new. Couple of obviously, so this is the Dune Conquests update. So the Dune Folk was the major rework here. There were a couple of quality of life things for low download speeds and/or data limits, which I think will be very useful for some folks with not the same access to internet that I have, luckily. Because this Wesnoth is a pretty lightweight game just in general. So I have never found this to be an issue, but it's very nice that it can run anywhere. In fact, you can get it on iOS. I'm not sure if there's an Android port, but there is an iOS port, so you can have it on your phone if you want to play Battle for Wesnoth on your phone. So they did some optimization in how files update. But here's the interesting thing. The AI has seen some improvements, with the experimental AI having been merged with the default AI. So that allows better handling of healing, poisoning, retreating, and other behavior. So that'll be a really interesting thing to explore in campaigns, because obviously I have built up 10 years. I want to say 10 years, probably 10 years. Yeah, I'm going to say 10 years of intuition with the old AI. And so this new AI may make campaigns much more challenging at the higher difficulty levels than I'm used to, because I expect the AI to make certain plays that I can take advantage of that they may not make anymore. And of course, Dune Folk, completely reworked and rebalanced, reimagining of the unit advancements, the unit lines, descriptions, sprites, and reworking the liminal alignment, which is something I hadn't played around with a lot. So this is going to be really fun to take a look at. Some of the campaigns got adjustments. Descent into Darkness, Liberty, and Scepter of Fire got major revisions. Gameplay, RPG, storyline, dialogue rewrites, which is good. There were certainly... I can't remember if it was Scepter of Fire or Hammer of Thurgason, where the dialogue I just really didn't like. So I'm hoping that has been addressed. Hammer of Thurgason also had revisions to scenarios and modernized the story and gameplay, which I'm hoping also adjusted dialogue, because that was a sort of a sticking point when I played through that on my own, was the dialogue just kind of stood out as not great. Let's see. Under the Burning Suns got revamped maps, and the Wesnoth faction was rebalanced. That's fun. To accompany the AI. So in addition to... So AI changed how it behaved, which means that the campaigns had to be adjusted to retain their intended difficulties. So that has been done. Specifically, that changed some things in Eastern Invasion. I'm wondering, however, if some of the the hardest levels may be more challenging than they used to be with this new AI and better AI. So we'll see about that. New campaign menu, that'll be fun to take a look at. Stunning backgrounds, that'll be fun to look at. none of this is the main menu. I guess this is the new campaign menu, which will be fun. It looks like there you can now select a couple of different things as you're going through, which will be cool to play around with to figure out what we want to do for sort of challenge runs. The sad hash brown. I always thought Delphador's memoirs had the worst dialogue. Interesting. I don't have a specific sticking point from Delphador's memoirs. I think what caught me with Hammer of Thurgesan was how they dealt with the Irish Scottish accent in the text. I never really liked the like writing out like th apostrophe for different things. I didn't really like that. I never felt that was a great way of dealing with an accent in text. So that was what really stuck with me. It's possible that the actual dialogue was not bad, but it was the way it was presented in that accent that really tripped me up. And maybe Delphador's memoirs had the worst dialogue. It's possible. It's possible. Maybe someday we'll sit down and review the dialogue and the story elements of some of these campaigns. That could be fun. I don't know if everyone in chat would be up for that kind of a stream, but I really enjoyed that stuff. So maybe we'll make that happen. Let's see, what else? Some minor gameplay updates, new zombie variants. So lots of things have happened in the campaigns that will be fun to take a look at as we go through those. Multiplayer, some new mainline campaign, Isle of Mist and World Conquest. I'll be honest, neither of which I have looked into a whole lot. I am a little bit more interested in the single-player campaign aspects of Battle for Wesnoth. That's only after I've sort of exhausted and gone through all of the campaigns for the 700th time that I'm like, okay, let's take a look at multiplayer. So it's nice to have these new options, and obviously I'm going to be participating in the ladder tournament in a couple of weeks here, but I've never been the most invested in that. So it's cool to now have plan unit advance in mainline, so you can preemptively choose what you want your unit to become if they advance on another player's turn, and the way that those advancements operate, even if you don't choose, has been changed. So you will always advance in the same unit instead of choosing one at random if there are multiple options. Bunch of new balance changes, which will be very interesting to see whether this pushes default era further from or more in line with the ladder era that has been attempting to create this sort of multiplayer balanced era. I'm also wondering how ladder folk are going to deal with or not deal with the inclusion of Dune Folk, because the ladder era itself does not include Dune Folk, if I remember correctly. So that could be kind of fun. If that adds, and that would sort of shake up the ladder meta a little bit, because you have this new faction in the mix. That could be interesting. General improvements under the hood, that kind of thing. Hey, I got a new follower. Thank you for that. I don't have my alerts pulled up. I should have my alerts pulled up. Ella Chris. Ella Chris? Ella Kurs. Ella Kyers. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, so some under the hood improvements. Reducing strange bugs, that kind of thing. That'll be fun. And then a bunch of stuff for people who make add-ons, which is not something that I have delved into. There are a couple of add-ons I would like to see, but have never had the time to get into the programming. Mostly just UI changes. But, so this is stuff like when you get an add-on, you only download the updated whatever files have been changed since the add-on was updated instead of re-downloading the whole thing. So that's kind of nice. Some other stuff in here that are under the hood that are pretty cool. Programming details that honestly are a little bit above my head. But I don't know why this is in here. A lot of new art, which I'm really excited to see in game. So we've got portraits for Royal Warrior, Jin, Naga, all sorts of new portraits, new terrain. catacombs, ancient stone floors, walls, overgrown walls. Like, this stuff looks really cool, right? I would love to see this stuff in game, and there's some really neat ways you could incorporate this, especially with the flowers. Maybe this is somewhere in an elvish city or something like that. That could be really fun. New wildlife units, crocodile, cave bear, ice monarchs, fire ant, horned scarab, seahorse, etc., etc., and etc. So finally, if you have any interest in contributing to the development of Wesnoth, because it is open source, you have the chance to. So this is just a little bit about how you can get involved in contributing code, art, translations, music, etc. All sorts of fun stuff. So that is all of that. We're going to pop back here really briefly while I now do what I have been waiting to do for a while, and that is fire up the game. All right, let's do this. Okay, so first of all, you can choose to import your settings. You no longer have to redo any UI settings that you have made between major version updates. It will keep the settings that you want. So I want to keep 1.14, and it's going to automatically re-download things that need to be downloaded for add-ons. So we're going to grab those as well. So this is some of that. This is a brand new feature in updating to a stable release that has not existed in Wesnoth before, that is really nice. And I'm hoping that it doesn't take too long. Like I said, Wesnoth is pretty lightweight, and even these add-ons are in the megabytes, so not worried about that taking too long. Yes, let's get all of the dependencies. While some downloads are happening, I will just make a quick plug. Video VODs of the stream go up on YouTube. I'm a little bit behind, so we're catching up on that. But my intention is to get this particular video up on YouTube by next week, and sort of jump ahead of my schedule in uploading old content, just so folks can see that. I do need to turn the music back on, apparently. All right, here we are. Wesnoth 1.16. 1.16.0, the initial release. This is pretty cool. Here we are. Let's take a look through the menus. I don't think much of this has changed. Maybe some of the aspect ratios. I remember the map being a little bit bigger in previous versions, but that could just be poor memory. Ooh! So this is, the background image is now incorporated, which was not there before. So that's really neat. It's actually going to keep the scenarios that I have completed. I wonder... I might want to actually wipe that and get rid of it and start over. We'll see. Hope we get some Dune Folk portraits someday. There's potential for some really cool art there. Yeah, I would have hoped that some of them would be there. Interesting. You can filter by approximate timeline in the lore. So that could be fun. Maybe we start at the earliest and work our way down. And this is sort of a difficulty scale. So we have... So default, then there's the biased RNG. Combat outcomes are more in line with display probabilities and unaffected by reloading. Interesting. So this would be fighting against save scumming. Like once you see a thing, that's what it's going to be. Or predictable, where they remain constant while reloading. This is also remain constant while reloading. I'm not sure what biased That probably means if you display this sort of probability curve that's sort of a Gaussian, humans are really bad at estimating that. So one thing that games like XCOM do is if you have a 90% chance to hit, if it displays a 90% chance to hit, under the hood that's actually 100% because you expect that to be 100%. Things like that. I think XCOM does it a little bit differently than that, but that's the sort of idea. I wonder if that's what's happening there. Default, we're reloading alters combat outcomes. So that's what we generally play on. But if you've watched any of my stuff before, I do no save scummings, and I do, in fact, no reloading of any kind. If you lose a mission anywhere in a campaign, you start at the beginning of the campaign. So it doesn't really matter for me. I'll probably leave it on default because I don't know the differences, and default seems fine. Of course, we have the different... Oh, that's nice. It tells you what difficulty level you beat it at, which I don't think it did previously because it wasn't like this before. So you can see that I beat Tale of Two Brothers on challenging. That's what the little gold wreath means. So that's nice. Similarly, you can see that we beat this on Lord. There was some reloading in this one. We don't talk about it. It's just too long. You can't get through it without that. All right. That's pretty cool. Well, if it's going to keep my little wreath, then I don't really need to go back through that. Dead Waters is what we had been looking at, and we didn't get very far in that. Telford's Memoirs, Rise of Wesnoth, Scepter of Fire, Legend of Wesnoth, Secrets of Ancients, Son of Black Eye, Under the Burning Suns, Northern Rebirth, Two Lands Unknown, which I think this is an add-on that I was looking at doing. So I don't think that's a mainline campaign. I actually don't know which campaigns the Dune Folk show up in. Anybody out there in chat know where I would find those if I wanted to take a look at them specifically? I thought it was Under the Burning Suns, but I think that might be a different faction. No, maybe that is Dune Folk. That looks like Dune Folk to me. You don't think they're in mainline? Interesting. So they're a faction, but they are not in mainline. I thought that was the whole point of this particular update. I think they are Dune Folk. No, because they're humans. Dune Folk is a faction of humans. Yeah, no, you're right. Desert elves aren't Dune Folk. Are there no campaigns with Dune Folk? That would be unfortunate. Well, you can also just play them in a two-player these. Why not? We'll just take a look at them. His default should have Dune Folk. Oh, interesting. They're not actually in official default era. That's weird. All right. There's now a new experimental AI. Interesting. We want to take a look at some stuff. So let's give ourselves some gold to look at this. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go for it. We won't hang around here too long, I don't think. Interesting. This is, of course, initial release, so there's probably going to be a couple of bugs left, like this race is missing a plural name for the thing. All right, so this is a couple of new things in here. Zoom in and out are now officially supported as keyboard commands, which is nice. Default zoom is that. Does planning mode still work? It does still work. So let's try and recruit in planning mode. Let's see. So we have the Dune Burner, which is next to a Scorcher, 7-3 Tar Bomb, 6-2 Dagger, 35 hit points, cost 17. Lower the music. Thank you. Have settings balanced for other games, and Wesnoth is a little bit louder. How's that? Does that sound better? Or is it still too loud? Try that for now. 34, move 5, 17, so don't move very far. 28 experience to level up. They mostly do a fire range attack. 7x3 is pretty good, but it's not magic. But it is fire, which is interesting. There's a Scorcher. Eventually to a Fire Trooper, which apparently I do not know. Okay, awesome. Yeah, please let me know if the music is too quiet, too loud, etc. Scorcher, just more damage, more hit points. Fun. The Herbalist also levels up to some things that we don't know about yet. Heals +4 and regenerates +4. That's interesting. That's cool. And I'm willing to bet that these two heal. One of them probably heals more, and the Apothecary probably heals more, and the Alchemist probably doesn't heal at all. Alright, we should look at what Liminal means. Liminal get +25 during Twilight. And I assume Twilight is both dawn and dusk, although I sort of associate Twilight with dusk, personally. So that's... So other units get +25%, -25%. Liminal gets +25% at 2, and then they don't get minus at all. That feels like it's... So in terms of time, you have more turns with your... Because you don't have the detriment. You never have a negative 25%. That's really nice. However, if you're trying to plan an attack, you only have one turn with the plus 25%. So you sort of balance that with Lawful and Chaotic, where they have 2 turns in a row of bonus damage. So that's going to be interesting to play around with. Alright, I can't go through this all. Rider, 8 movement, 34, a mace, which is impacts, and a bow. So these guys have a lot of range, it looks like. Rover is their sort of melee fighter unit. Although that's more like sort of an elvish ranger because they have almost as good... Their melee is actually slightly worse than their ranged... Yeah, Rover to Explorer, that's sort of ranger-esque. Scorcher we already looked at. Skirmisher is their melee-focused unit. Spear, and they have a sling. They get first strike. And Soldier would be another one. 41 hit points now. Only the blade. In terms of defense, they're good on castle, they're good on hills, mountains, village. Sand is 40. I think that's probably better than most other races. The sort of like elves, for instance, if we look at them on sand, they're at 30. Dwarves are also going to be 30 on sand. And the only exception are the Saurians, I believe, who are still 40 on... No, they're 60 on sand. And then things like griffins who just don't care. And drakes. Who, again, just don't care. All right. And we get Naga Dirk Fangs, which is interesting. They are neutral. So like some other factions, not everybody in the faction has the same alignment. So the soldiers are lawful. The rovers are liminal. The burner is lawful. So let's grab some folks. So planning mode still works there. That's nice. Grab a rider, skirmisher, burner, and a rover to start off with. And then we will go... I'll probably turn off planning mode at this point. Alright, I want another rider to go up this left side, and then we'll just get a couple of everybody. I already have a skirmisher, that's my soldier. I think I already have a... I've got a burner, so we'll grab an herbalist. I think technically there's enough water to be able to grab a Naga. It's not the smartest thing to do, but we're experimenting with the faction. Are Dirk Fangs the only new Naga? Got the fighter, which advances to warrior, which then levels up to a Myrmidon, I'm going to call. So I think yes. Obviously there's a tree here with the Ophidian and the Ringcaster. Actually, let's take a look at that. Conscious of the heavy melee-focused style of the Northern Brethren, the Naga of the South prefer range, so they have a chakri. Chakri? A chakri. Which is that bladed hoop that they throw. That's nice. Push out here. Let's pick a side for the Naga. It's easiest to get over here. Sure. So we're up against some lawful units. It is afternoon. Would love to not be able to be attacked this turn. I think that's probably fine. We can pull one forward there. Okay, my sensitivity is too high. That's better. Let's see. Get some rovers, skirmishers. Those seem like they're sort of bread and butter of this faction. Oh, that maybe is a little bit too slow. All right, so now our liminals have plus 25. That was really dumb. Okay. The herbalist only has a mace. 27 XP, 30 XP, 30 XP, 28, 22. Who's the easiest to level up? Skirmishers, apparently. Not that I am anywhere near there with skirmishers. Swords User, yes, new version of Wesnoth 1.16 is the new stable release, which is really exciting. So the big thing is this Dune Folk faction got a rework in this particular update. So that's what I'm doing, just a quick single player game against an AI with Dune Folk to take a look at how they play, because previously it had been sort of supported with default era, but there's not a campaign that goes with them right now. So it would have been really cool if they had released a new campaign with the Dune Folk update, but that is also a lot to ask. So we're just gonna try and get a feel for how they play. And then campaigns got reworked a little bit, so in the future we'll be starting in on some of that. We might start something today, we might not, unclear. Okay. Doing the old, who do I want to get the kill? I think all of them take 4 kills even, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see how much. So if it doesn't really matter, and I don't have a preference, furthest away starts, and our healer in a defensive position seems good. This is really interesting to see a healer that is exclusively melee, because normally our healers have ranged magic attacks or something like that. God, this game is still getting developed. Oh yeah, there are. Wesnoth has historically had monthly or bi-monthly bug fixes and updates to the stable version, and then the major revisions are being worked on in parallel to that. And so this is every 2-ish years is sort of the development life cycle, as I understand it. A major reversion, a major stable release comes out, and this is 1.16 is that. Let's take a look at that. Another mage. I don't remember actually looking at resistances. Basically nothing. Susceptible slightly to blade, resistant slightly to arcane. Alright, we're gonna put a swordsman to do some damage. Does a lot of damage, actually. And then our burner can come in with the tar bomb. I assume they also get a slight resistance to cold. Right, but the tar bomb is not magic, so they wouldn't have the same consistency of attack, which is interesting. Alright, I kind of want to stay out of range of you. But otherwise, do sort of a classic defense that prevents anyone from being ganged up on with 3. Not possible with you, unfortunately, but we do our best. So Dune Folk also are liminal, if you're not familiar with that, which means that they get their bonuses during twilight. So dawn and dusk, as I understand it. So that is kind of a neat thing. Let's get another burner. That was kind of fun. Maybe even 2. Going against the heavy infantry, I think that'll be nice. Maybe another rider. And why not another herbalist? The nice thing is that most of them have a ranged attack, so I can do things like this. Yeah, so the AI is doing some really intelligent things. Ganging up 3v1 makes a lot of sense here. So I think this is already a better AI than I'm used to. So I'm going to pull you back. But that was also very aggressive for heading into nighttime. This exposes us in a pretty bad way. We're on 30%, and I have to... They're zone of control in a good way, so I can't actually get in there without the river being an issue. That's kind of nice. So... couple of first strikers, should be nice to get in the front line. It seems like ranged units are going to be pretty good in this particular matchup. So in that case... our rover. You're really annoying. I don't think we can effectively team up on the cavalryman. The third person I can get on him is my melee. It's not bad, 70 to 50, but the damage is just so much less. That should be a last attack. I don't think I can get anyone with fire up there. We'll concentrate on that because we can get 3 on him. I guess we can get 4. Gotta go over here. so we can trap him. I think I will take this attack. It's definitely risky, but only hit once. This is my herbalist. And pop you over there. Oh, and they brought a merfolk in, so we'll come back to there. We're leaving a hole here, which is not great. I think that protects our rover, though. Speaking of, the rovers seem pretty good, given the both melee and ranged attacks. Although, honestly, the burners seem pretty reasonable also. I think we're gonna go rover, though. And then burner. And then... in terms of a pure ranged unit, though, we don't have a whole lot of options. Honestly, the rider is the closest we get. Skirmisher is always nice for having skirmish. And we're finally out of money. Sure. Nice. They saw our surround by 4. They're like, we can match that. We can surround by 5. Yeah, we definitely can. Problem is, a single charge now kills us, and that would really turn the tide in a bad way over there. Alright, let's see. I think if we do this correctly, we can get this horseman dead. Oh yeah. You know, I probably deserved that. Put a nog in there. Go steal some villages here. What's going on with that sprite? Is he facing away from me? Is that what's happening? That's interesting. I don't think I've seen a bowman sprite look like that before. That's kind of cool. I don't know if it's a bowman. There's a skirmisher here that I think would be useful with a melee attack coming in from that side. And then maybe this one comes in from that side. And then this one coming in up top. For the kill there. I won't be able to rescue him. But I think I can actually kill him. Which is interesting because it lets me put my herbalist in the front line to take out the mage. This is another herbalist, so another healer. Set you down over there. Pop you up. This is interesting. I'm actually going to go for another Naga and see if we can come up this side. But now we're going to bring our leader up and do some stuff with him. It's second watch, so it's going to be dawn next turn, which is when our liminal units get their advantages back. You leave my herbalist alone. No! And that's what I was afraid of. Are you a rover or a skirmisher? You're a skirmisher, so we can get around him if we wanted to. We probably do. Yeah, AI is doing good work here. And they're getting their experience funneled to one unit. We're going to come around like this and kill you. The first strike here means that if he attacks, we should take that pretty easily. But this is when we get our bonuses. So we really want to take damage. And I'm thinking... Oh, skirmishers are lawful, not liminal. So rovers will be useful. If I back you off and do this. There we go. And then fire against our heavy infantrymen here, I think is a good thing to do. But then there's you. I have a flamethrower. I'm here. Yeah, that's good. And we can funnel experience to our Naga. Another burner. And take on the spearman here. An herbalist. Rover. We'll go with the rover here. And then this skirmisher can trap. 5-4 against 8-3. Slightly better chance to hit, sure. Yeah, it's not great for anyone involved and they survive, so. Got our Naga. Oh, but we can get our rider in there. Finish that off. Let's do that. That lets us put our herbalist right in the middle here. And take the advantage of it being gone to try and make an attack. No luck. Sort of drop that off. And then we definitely want to cut off reinforcements, but in the long run that means cutting off villages. So this looks like a pretty good spot to be in. fair. I think we're doing pretty alright here. If we can manage to get rid of that merfolk, we'll have taken the experience away. Can we still get... Yes, we can. You don't get to live. You apparently get to live. I'm not happy about it, but you get to live. How close are you to level? So that'll be a level up. Let's get that. I think we can do it this way, yeah. That gives us an explorer. So 6-4 axe, 8-3 bow, 52 hit points. I mean, that's pretty good. All of that is pretty good. We got a bunch of burners to come out over here. Would be nice to hit a couple of times. Apparently that is a little too much to ask for. Go towards the water because then the Naga can help out. Yeah, straight nothing. Okay, cool. Over here. Rough stuff. A little bit of healing in, I think. Jump in. I don't want to do that. Let's put some damage on you. Or not. That's also fine. We don't have to do that. We can't kill, so that's not a good strategy here. But I'm keeping a line here with those, so I'm happy with that. We will move the leader up, just because that gives us more firepower, quite literally because he has a flamethrower. Not the best of turns. And also, I'm getting to the point where I should probably retreat my leader and recruit some more units. Ooh! Yikes! That hurt. Oh, they are really focusing on specific units. AI is really a lot more intelligent than I'm used to. So that's really good because it will help break my bad habits. But I have those bad habits, so... Can't leave until we kill you, huh? So now we just have to kill you. 2/3 of the time that works. 9-3. Let's do that. Balls. That's not what I want to do. Because we don't level up from that and have to retreat, and then you're in a bad position. I'll go with you. That worked. Pull you back. That one. You come down here and take that one. Just need to survive an attack, which is nice. And we actually have ranged attacks to do stuff with there, which is also really nice. On a Naga, that's pretty unusual. If I pull up here, we're fine. Awesome. Oh, you came down to play. That's exciting. This was fun and all, but I just want to take that house. I think that could work. That feels like not a great idea. But that's also not great. God, bowmen are so strong. Sure, let's do that. We'll stay here to keep the line. But we just can't really attack. We do a max of 12, they do 14. We'll just hold the line there. Hey, you did it for us! Love that. Strider. 7-4 with first strike, and now the bolas will slow. Or the falconer. 7-4, no first strike. Have a falcon, diversion. There's an enemy of the target on the opposite side of the target. This unit diverts the target's attention and reduces its chance to hit by 20%. Enemy of the target. So if we're flanking with the falconer, I'm not actually sure how that works. Hang on. If there's an enemy of the target on the opposite side of the target, this unit diverts the target's attention and reduces its chance to hit by 20%. It sounds like that's a defensive ability, but that's not really well explained. Falcon can either be sent to strike or can be sent high in the air to circle. And strike when the foe has shifted attention. Diverting warriors from two different fronts and distracting. I'm not sure how that works. So let's figure it out. I think the Strider I understand. So let's take a look at the Falconer. Ooh, ow, that hurt. Ooh, we're gonna hit 3 for 3 there, are we? Yikes. Kind of rude if you ask me. But now it is a liminal time. Gonna be a flamethrower here. Perfect. And this should level me up. another Scorcher. What do you have? You need to get 2 out of 3. Should be doable. You don't have any ranged attacks, so sure. And you're on land, which is a hell of a choice to make. I don't think there's anyone nearby that I want to send the experience to, so we'll do this. Maybe not do that. But we can send this Falcon. Oh no, I want to use the Falconer to take a look at some stuff, so we'll leave that alone. Bring you in. Go in a little bit. Keep an eye on some things up here. Like that village. Oh, that hurt. Alright, we totally have this. So let's get a level up here. So we have the Naga Ophidian, or the Naga Ringcaster. So 12-2 Jareed, which is a ranged attack. 6-3 Curved Blades. Or the 7-3 Chakram, and the 5-4 Chakram. And both of them have a level 3 variant. So... I kind of like the idea of the Ophidian, so we're going to take a look at you. I'm going to steal that village real quick. Don't mind me. And then, where's my Falconer? Is that my Falconer? That is my Falconer. So I think something happens here. Yeah, so... Diversion lowers chance to hit if I am flanking. So that's pretty cool. So clearly this is the right attack to make. I can't get hit back. Okay, but then we didn't do enough damage, so... Oh, and he is now... There's a diversion effect on him no matter who is attacking him now. That's super cool. Ah, we have 3 to choose from here. That's exciting. So the Dune Raider levels into... Or the Dune Raider is a level that we can go into. 9-3 Fire Melee. That's cool. 7-3 Bow. 9 Movement. 7-4 versus 7-3. So this is overall worse, both in the melee and the ranged. And less movement, and less hit points. But this is now liminal. Oh no, bow is better. Bow is better. But, okay, yeah, so bow is better, melee better. Or the Sunderer. The mace is so much better. But even fewer movement. So 9, 8, 7 move. 50, 51, or 52, 51, 62. So this is clearly your tank unit. Frontline tank unit. This is your archery unit. This is sort of... I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Oh, we're chaotic as a raider. So chaotic, liminal, or lawful. We can choose how we want to level up. That's interesting. And this, of course, also... This levels up into a marauder. This particular matchup has seemed to be we want to have good ranged attacks, so I'm gonna go with the archer. We've now murdered everybody. Do I still have an herbalist? I do. So put the herbalist there. Some healing on some of our units. Leave you there. Leave you there. Bring the Scorcher up. I won't take our leader down because we could do some recruiting now. But we should have this sort of locked in at this point. This is lawful v lawful. Fire versus magic. I can't quite get diversion this turn. I wonder if diversion probably doesn't affect magic users is my guess. Because magic has a minimum 70% chance to hit. I wonder how diversion and marksman play. Because marksman also has minimum 60. Magic is not minimum 70, it's exactly 70. So there are some interesting interactions that may happen with that. We have way more hit points, so, and we're doing a little bit more damage. We're hitting a little less often, but this feels pretty safe. So diversion is a really interesting mechanic to play with. Leave you alone. Do an explorer, yeah. Oh, I would love to see a campaign that featured the Dune Folk. Hopefully that is coming relatively soon, because these guys are pretty sweet. Just gonna get the folks that are gonna be able to that have the best chance of being able to help. Ah, and I cannot get diversion because he's backed by lava. Rude. And that's it, we win. Nice. That's fun. I like that a lot. All right, why don't... I think we'll go through timeline in the lore. So we'll start this tonight, but I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll get back to this, and we'll start with Rise of Wesnoth, hardest difficulty, the standard challenge that I throw at myself. But we're going to take a quick, maybe 2-minute break. I'll run some ads, stretch, use the bathroom, that kind of thing. Don't go away. Give me 2 seconds here. I forgot to set this up. Uh-oh. How fast can I do this? The answer is reasonably fast. All right. Yeah. Oh, but not 5 minutes. 2 minutes. All right, be right back. All right. It is. I have to keep an eye on the time, just because I have stuff to do tomorrow morning, unfortunately. So let's. I think this is a good way to do this. We'll start with Rise of Wesnoth and sort of start working our way through. For those of you who are unfamiliar, I do what I call Ironman challenges, which I've taken that from XCOM, which is no reloads. If you lose at any point in the mission, in the campaign, you start the campaign over. There is no reloading anywhere in the campaign. So that's what we're gonna do. And because I like to suffer, we do hardest difficulty. So it has been a very long time since I played Rise of Wesnoth, so I don't remember a whole lot of what goes on. We'll go through it together. What modifications? No, don't care about any of that. I think I'm going to keep with default RNG. Yeah, let's take a look at this. We'll probably get one scenario in, is my hope tonight. I don't think I have time for more than that. But we can get started. In the days before Haldric I saved our people and founded the country of Wesnoth, we came from an island kingdom far to the west. We were prosperous, strong, and numerous. We lived in a rich land with many kings. Then they came, the Westfolk. They were a wicked, brutal, and dirty lot. They were the vanquished refugees of some war, fleeing from their homes in a land even further off into the west. The Westfolk were not numerous, but they used dark magic, commanding vengeful spirits and legions of walking dead. After a time of great struggle, a peace was reached. We came to dominate most of the Isle, with the Westfolk pushed into the most marginal of lands. In confronting their vile legions, we grew strong. Indeed, it was from this war we gleaned our first shards of knowledge about magic. You must recall that the route from the western continent to our Green Isle was perilous at the best of times. So perilous that a stable trading relationship between the mainland and the Isle could never be maintained. Things were worse still when sailing to the east. A strong, cold ocean current swept down from the north of the Eastern Ocean, pushing all ships horribly off course. Ships that traveled east and returned reported nothing but open sea and vile sea monsters. Over time, however, our skills as navigators grew. Then one day, the strong-hearted Crown Prince of South Bay returned home from a long voyage with a fabulous tale. He said that there were lands to the east that could be reached by aggressively sailing to the east and north to compensate for the southern pole of the ocean. It wasn't long after he returned that the very Crown Prince who discovered the land to the east fell ill and died under mysterious circumstances. His younger brother, the next in line for the throne, chafed at the eye of suspicion cast upon him. He conspired to start a war of distraction with the poor Westfolk kingdoms and their lich lords. The new Crown Prince departed with the largest army ever assembled on the Isle to make war with the Westfolk. This is where our story begins. With a plight of a different prince on the same Isle. The Rise of Wesnoth. For this is the story of Haldric I and the Rise of Wesnoth. A Summer of Storms. The troubles seems to have finally reached the heart of the Isle, to the isolated lands of King Elderac IV. It looks like some Westfolk rabble have seized the northern keep. Prepare for battle, Haldric. Father, I am of age now. May I lead our forces into battle? You're showing initiative, son. I'm proud of you. Should probably do some voices instead of just the narrator voice. You're showing initiative, son. I'm proud of you. Yes, you may lead our forces to battle. It is time. But I'll stay near to keep an eye on you. There is more to this raid than meets the eye, I think. They're Westfolk, reavers and thieves by nature. Rare is the summer they do not raid us. What mystery is in it now? These are not normal times. When the Prince of South Bay has raised a host that could utterly destroy them, why would they compound their troubles by raising a quarrel with another king? Perhaps these are refugees fleeing his advance? Unlikely. The prince they might evade in the wild country, south and east of here, is more thickly settled with our folk and a greater danger to them. Even supposing they could win through us, why court the wrath of the greater kingdoms? We must inquire of the survivors after we defeat them. Onward to victory! The pencil mustache gives some sort of a nasally sound to me. Look, our little princelings merry men. We'll teach you a lesson for what your kind did to us. Defeat the Westfolk leader. Don't take 25 turns. Gold gets carried over. Yada, 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 yada. And we have a level 3 who, honestly, not super useful. 13-3 is better than I first read. So that's okay. And good health as well. He can't die, but I don't think he will die. What do we got? Normal loyalist stuff? No merfolks, we can't... really make use of the lake. We could try and cut up here for some villages. We've got 25 turns. That's probably worth it, right? But is any of that... That is in the mountains, so we probably don't want a horseman, which sort of leaves spearmen. We want to find a quick spearman, I think, if possible. That ain't it. We'll grab one more spearman. There. So that's the one that we take up north. I love me some horsemen. Grab 2 horsemen and a mage, I think. Although I don't really know what they're going to recruit. We should maybe keep it a little bit open. So we'll grab a bowman and a mage. I think that's probably best to start with. Thugs. Ooh, that's some new art that I don't think I've seen before. For the footpad? That's a new sprite, right? I'm not crazy. I think that's a new sprite. And that's definitely a new sprite for the poacher. That's cool. I like that. Those are good sprites. Villages. Going up for that one as well. And then we just, otherwise we need to make our way around the lake. We will not want to fight at night because we're lawful and they are chaotic. So there's definitely something over here that I'm wary of. Although whether that's used in this scenario or another one, I don't know. We have exactly enough gold for another horseman. That could be good. 2 thugs, footpad, poacher. I think I just want another spearman, I'm gonna be honest. We'll grab another spearman. And we'll see how much gold they have to continue recruiting. Thief. They got 2 full keeps. Granted, their full keep is less than my full keep, but still. Probably try and hold around here for the coming night. There's not great terrain bonuses, unfortunately. Maybe I hold a line across here that includes the forest and the hills. I think I want another... I'm gonna grab a bowman, actually, because they actually have reasonable melee attacks, usually. Okay. It'll be interesting to see who gets where first. That's 3, that's 4. I think we go for this one first and then up in. I think it would be very silly for them to threaten us immediately. Let's take some more villages, move some folks around, control our villages, and prepare to retaliate if we need to. But we are outnumbered and it's turning to night, so we want to be careful about that. I think I'm going to hold on recruiting, though, between King Eldorak and the horseman and the 2 spearmen I already have. I think I'm happy with that. I want another horseman, I think. So we'll grab another horseman after a turn, and then maybe another mage. Okay, coming straight at us. So we should be able to trap and kill that unit before they get down here. Although their reinforcements are arriving pretty quickly. And they're taking 2 people against my 1 here, which concerns me a little bit. That's, yep, I'm going for that isolated gold. So, did this campaign get rebalanced? This is the Rise of Wesnoth. Let me double check. Also, hello. Rise of Wesnoth did not get much of a change, it looks like. Probably a little bit of stuff, but not a whole lot. It's not in the release notes anyway. But it had to get a little bit of rebalance because the AI has changed, right? Seemed like one of the less polished campaigns when you tried it. Maybe it did get some significant changes. I don't know. So one of the neat things, I'll just really quickly, for those of you who did not see this, we'll go back here. The campaign menu got an overhaul. So now you can sort by timeline in the lore. So that's what we have done. Is I think I'm going to start from the earliest and work our way down. Also of note, when you beat a campaign, you get the little wreath to show that you beat it. It will now keep track of what difficulty you beat it at as well. So we can see that, and these are the things that I think I did on stream. I beat Tale of Two Brothers at hardest difficulty. Not quite Ironman, but essentially. And then Heir to the Throne. Oh no, actually, Tale of Two Brothers was Ironman. Heir to the Throne was not quite Ironman, but you've got that as well. The big change was the AI rebalance. I don't know if you've checked out the post on that. Yeah, it's retroactive. So I'm thinking about whether I want to actually wipe that so that it doesn't look like that, so we can go through on our own, but I might just leave it. Anyway, I went through all of that at the beginning of the stream for like 5-10 minutes, so if you missed that, you should go back and watch it. We're gonna hit you. And then we're gonna check for someone who's intelligent. Also, if you're coming in late, all of the VODs eventually end up on YouTube, but I'm going to try and make sure that this particular video ends up on YouTube next week, so that it is right away there for anybody who missed it and wants to watch it on YouTube. We have one intelligent unit. It's a bowman. Can't quite kill yet, so we'll grab a spearman to do some damage and some blocking. Resilient and strong has really good hit points, so we'll go in on this side with the spearman. And then the bowman can cross down and take the kill. And we get to use leadership, which is nice. Bowman did not take the kill, which is unfortunate. I don't know how attached I am to that having to happen. I think we just need to reduce numbers and we can worry about experience managing later. And we'll just sort of keep someone on that village. Keep them at bay a little bit. This is first watch. I'm gonna hope I don't need my horsemen overnight, and we'll come back this way as we need to. We do have the goal to get another horseman, which is what I want. That should be good. Yeah, if you're just coming into the stream, we spent... So this update is really the Dune Folk rebalancing update. There's still no campaign for Dune Folk, which I would love to see in the future. But we did a quick single player versus AI on a multiplayer map with the Dune Folk exploring them, and they seem really cool. So I'm excited to see what comes of that in the future. Okay, they can't move very fast. I'm happy with that. We might just defend this village. Maybe I'll send an archer up there or something. What do I think about the new bandit sprites? I mean, in general, I think I'm in favor of them. They look really cool. Obviously, they're different, especially the poacher. I really like the poacher because the old poacher sprite, I think, made him look really... what's the word? Sort of bulky, not necessarily fat, but like very footballer sort of fit. And this makes them look a lot more like they hunt out in the woods kind of a thing. Stocky, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. So I like the change for the poacher a lot. I think the thugs continuing to look stocky is a really good thing because that makes sense for their character design. The footpad is an interesting one because I don't know that it needed to change, but I'm certainly I don't dislike it. And I think, yeah, I definitely don't dislike it. The outlaw sprite hasn't changed, it looks like, and neither has the fugitive. It's really just that footpad. So yeah, I think it's fine. I actually kind of really like it. I've been enjoying a lot of the updated art just in general. I don't want to have all the humans open. Let's go back and look really briefly at Dune Folk because it didn't take a whole lot of time. Okay, so they don't have portraits, unfortunately. But not all. Some of them do have portraits, but I do also really like their design. Blinded by nostalgia, but it's sad to see the old footpad go. Yeah, definitely. Like that's the poacher. I think is a clear better sprite. I think the footpad is sort of a lateral move. It's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. And like I said, I don't dislike it, but definitely that nostalgia factor makes that a little sad to see go. Now we get a second chance to get a kill here. Nice. And then we're gonna move some folks around to protect some other folks. We can make use of move some folks around and just take a look at this. I think we can make use of leadership if we do something like this. We can start with you. 12. That leadership is really nice. 9-3. Yeah, that works pretty well. Back to 19. And honestly, the poacher is a little bit odd. It's very angular and sort of... I'm not an artist. I'm not qualified to critique this, but like... It looks a little bit unbalanced because it's sort of all angular in one direction. Sort of this up and to the right area. So it kind of feels like it's leaning over a little bit. But I think in general, I do like it. How do I want to reinforce for this? I was hoping to grab another mage, but I think I just need more spearmen. Just need frontline folks. Oh, we have a training sword. It's gonna be hard to get you some experience. And we are going to need to, I think. Yeah, that's the AI. The new AI is much better about retreating. Whoa, brutal. So I don't know if they would have made that move previously. So this is sort of an eye for an eye situation. just gonna keep going for it. 27-2. That's pretty darn good. Leadership is pretty darn good, as it turns out. Turning to day is the time when we want to be pushing if we can. And I think we can. Yeah, 2-2 I don't care about. And we'll come in from the side with a charge, take them out. And I think we can overextend ourselves slightly to chase this down. And just prevent any sort of healing from happening. I'm well aware that is definitely an overextension, but I think it was worth it. We'll see if it actually was. So they're coming, but I'm happy to let them come. I think if I keep the village, I'll be able to do enough damage that'll be okay. Yeah, probably bye-bye Archer. But which probably means that was a trade I didn't want to take. It just felt too clean to not take it. I will grab another mage, because I want to keep that coming. There's some sequencing that the AI could do better, I think, because there was a chance to get a backstab there. Ended up not needing it, but I maybe would have made slightly different decisions. And throwing away that archer did occupy a bunch of her troops. I think it's clear that that is yeah, her troops. Alright. Let's get a level up here. I think we're actually one more off. Let's get closer to that. That's not what I want to do, actually. I think I want to do that. Ooh, unlucky. Not great. Oh, I can't get up there anymore. Sure. Not very useful, but okay. It is clearly day, so we'll get in there with some good attacks. Maybe another archer at this point? Bowman? Yeah, that seems like a good thing to do. And the AI, I think, is really being much better about ganging up on weak units than I remember. And searching for those chances to kill. Nice. What are you at, 9? If I pull you back and do this. Nice. So now we have a level 2 immediately, which is really good. Toss a coin, take a lot of damage. I like it. Not gonna do it with you though. Let's do this. And that. Heal. Actually, no. We're going to take some healing, so let's pop you down and try and get that village over there. It's still daytime, so a push up like this is probably not terrible, especially if I can keep sort of leadership there. The thing is, these probably go for the spearmen here instead, is my guess. I could come up this way with the archer, but it doesn't seem like I need that anymore. So we'll come down there. Oh, as a reminder, chat, you can redeem your channel points, your Chekhov's cannonballs, to name units if that's something you want to do. So you could be in my game. If you want to be this longbowman, you can be this longbowman for the low cost of 250 channel points. Consider it. Okay. I don't think I need to recruit anymore, which means I'm going to recruit one more time. We're going to go spearmen. Are we going to go spearmen? We've got 3 spearmen, 2 horses, a mage, archer. I think I'll wait a turn, get a mage, call it good. Or maybe another horseman. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out next turn. That is a next turn problem. Yep. Gang up on the spearman. But that first strike saved my life. Except that it... Oh. The footpad couldn't get in there. All right, cool. I like that. Back off for that. Would love to not need to use my level 3 so I can get him on a village this evening. But I might need to, because it doesn't look like that's gonna... Well, but then there is the horseman still. We might be able to do this. Right? Let's try that. Nice. Okay, so now we can heal there, which is good. We can go take that village. I forgot about that one. We'll keep pushing up this way to take that one next turn. Oh, man. 3 turns because of the woods? I think that's still worth it. We've now won this map and we want to acquire as much gold as possible. I may not recruit and just wait. Honestly, we'll bring the bowman up. I think a mage is a safe recruit because they will recall for still 20. That or a horseman. This is a quick and strong mage. I'd love to have an intelligent mage, so I think we'll go with a mage. Intelligent quick is like the best characteristics you can put on a mage. Yeah, actually, I think that's probably the best combo on a mage. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll call that good for those folks, and we'll use Haldrick to try and grab the village. We have the ability to push this now. No one else can get to us if we do. I think it's probably worth it. We have to hit, though, for it to be worth it. And not just take damage out of it. That's alright. That looks good to me. Ow. Rude. Okay. Well, that works. I don't think I necessarily want to push up right now. Enough folks are wounded enough that I just want to wait at least until day. And just sort of reevaluate after that. Alright, it is now daytime. Reevaluation complete. Mage will not last long if I do that. But that's actually pretty reasonable. Pop over. You're probably fine as is. No, I can set you on there for a turn. Okay, cool. Let's just clean this up. Got that last village over there. Pushing up over here. Well, okay. Didn't necessarily mean to do that. Okay. You are pretty pathetic in terms of combat power. Especially during the day. I don't think that's smart just yet. Also don't think that anyone here is going to matter. But maybe I can get the spearman the experience of killing the leader. This is now just experience farm time. Which means I'm going to start over here. So I think I can end this turn. So get that extra 8 points. Now we just need to hit once. There it is. I invoke the right of surrender. Don't kill me. Why have you come to trouble our lands? Trouble your... Trouble your lands? Bah, you fool Prince of South Bay. Your fool Prince of South Bay has attacked our lands. The Lich Lords had no choice. They opened a gate. And what? They pledged to visit all the terrors of the hells upon the isle. They built a great stone gate to the heart of the homeland of the orcs in the distant west. Now even we Westfolk must flee or be slaves. Orcs are just creatures of tall tales.
You've been on this island too long. I assure you that orcs exist. By now there are probably a half-dozen gates to the orcish homeland. There is no hope.
We must prepare the defenses. Haldrick, stay at the keep. I must go and fortify our frontier.
My forces are defeated. Under your customs of surrender, I will go now.
You may go. See to it that you trouble us no more, for the custom states that you may invoke surrender but once. If we meet again, I won't be so merciful. Nice. We got a bunch of XP on our unit there. Alright. I know that's a relatively short stream. We'll go through the storyline here before I call it, but I am going to call it after that, because it is getting kind of late. Summer passes into fall, and King Eldorak fortifies his frontiers. It is not long before the first orcish scouts are spotted. War has come to the valley. And we're back in the same place, and I'm guessing that this is where that secondary keep comes into play. Haldrick, things have not gone well. The orcs have arrived. We met them at the North Keep, but there were just too many. They have flanked us to the east in the mountains. I have my personal guards holding the path to the north, but they won't be able to last long. We must evacuate our home.
That's awful. And it only gets worse. The Westfolk rabble has set up shop again in the South Pass.
That's the only way out of the valley.
This is a disaster. We must defeat that Westfolk scum and flee to the south.
Our home is lost. We must make haste. Orcs. Guards. Orcs. Kill us, kill us. This is going to get ugly. And we're coming down here to kill them. We have some guards here that we want to keep alive as long as possible. We can sort of hold this pass for a little while, which is probably our best bet. We can't really outrun the orcs with heavy infantrymen, but maybe we can cycle through some here. Loyal and fearless, loyal and strong, loyal and resilient. These are good units to have and to keep if possible. But that will become a problem for another day. Because I, unfortunately, have to go to bed. Thank you, everybody, for watching. As usual, sort of end of stream business, you can keep the conversation going in the Discord. Talk about all the new sprites, your opinions on them, the changes for 1.16. How do you like Dune Folk? We have a Battle for Wesnoth channel in the Discord, so feel free to pop over there and say hi and keep this conversation and community rolling. If you've just been hanging out and chat, appreciate you. I always appreciate it when you drop the channel a follow. That helps you get notified when I go live. Similarly, joining the Discord is another place that I notify when I go live. So those are great places if you want to catch more of this content in the future. This is not one of my normal streaming times. So if you want to see me stream in the future, you probably want to get some notifications turned on for that. And finally, for anybody who does not already know, if you have an Amazon Prime account and you link your Twitch account with your Amazon Prime account, you get one free subscription to the stream of your choice every month. And that is free money that you should be using to support the content creators that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be me. It can be. I appreciate when it is, but just make sure you're actually using that, because otherwise that's just money that's not being used, supporting folks who are trying to do the content creation thing. And finally, VODs are going up on the YouTube channel, which has already been linked a couple of times in chat, but here it is again. You can take a look at some of the older streams there. I'm currently uploading streams from about April, so I'm a little bit behind. But those are I'm scheduling those to come out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This week's have already been scheduled, so one went up this morning. Another one will go up on Thursday, and then I'm thinking Saturday's YouTube upload will actually be this stream right now. So if you've missed that, you can catch it on YouTube immediately, which I think is going to be an important thing given the timeliness of 1.16 coming out. Coming up in the future, this weekend, I plan to stream at least once, but it may not be Wesnoth, because Age of Empires 4 is coming out, and I have really wanted to take a look at that. So we might take a look at that on stream, depending on how graphically intense that is and whether my computer can handle streaming it. Otherwise, I might just have to push that until winter-ish, because there's a lot of stuff happening right now, and I want to give Wesnoth the the playtime that it deserves, because it's a great game and I love it and I like sharing it. So I might push AoE 4. I might not. We can talk about it in the Discord. What would you prefer to see? Would you like to see me play Age of Empires 4, or would you like to see me keep going through Wesnoth? I think most of you would probably say Wesnoth, so maybe we'll just keep going on with that. I think that's all of the business that I have. So thank you all for tuning in. This has been absolutely great. I will just briefly check to see if there's anybody streaming Wesnoth in addition that I can send you over for. Usually there's not. Looks like not. Or if there's anybody else that I would want to raid. No one's online that I would want to raid, so I will say good evening. I would appreciate it if you let the ads run at the end of the stream. Just your eyeballs on those, or just your computer staying on during the ads helps support me. Helps me get a couple of pennies every couple of months, and I definitely appreciate that. All right, that's it for end of stream business. I appreciate all of you. Take care.